Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. Today our topic is Inklings from the Dark, and it is my final lecture on this poem, in which we will discuss some stanzas of the poem and also try to learn poetic devices contained in this poem. It is page number 154 of your textbook. Let us begin. Reference to context. Number 1. I espied an eagle in the wild shadow of my mind. On its beak, in the same old fashion, smoldered the blood of the dove, whose feathers were shed by hilltop into the atmosphere. Question number 1 is, where does the poet see the eagle? The poet sees the eagle in the wild shadow of his mind. Question number 2 is, why does the eagle have blood on its beak? The eagle had killed the peace-loving dove, so it was having the blood of dove on its beak. Now there is part number C. The blood of the dove has been described as smoldering. What does the poet want to convey by this description? The poet wants to convey by this description that the present situation of the helpless getting killed may continue to exist as long as there is no change in the attitude of the blood-sucking eagles. Now, there is stanza number 2. Stanza number 2 is, rubbing my eyes, I tried to pull the quilt up to my cold back, but oh, the concrete shook, and the cold ashes cold ashes kissed my feet, while the owl hooted outside, oh woo to you, oh woo. Why does the poet rub his eyes? Why does the poet rub his eyes? The poet rubs his eyes in surprise as he sees a cat in place of his upper garment hanging by the hanger. Now there is B part. How does the poet try to warm himself up? The poet tries to warm himself by pulling the quilt up to his cold back. But as he does this, the cold ash in the concrete touch his feet. Now C part, is he successful? Give reasons for your answer. No, he is not successful to warm himself up, because as he tries to pull the quilt up to his cold back, while doing so, the cold ashes and the concrete shook and cold ashes kiss his feet. Now there is D part. Why does the owl hoot woo to you? Actually, the poet is haunted by a sense of guilt arising out of a violent act done by him in the remote past. So he feels that even the owl, a bird of bad omen, hoots that he will be suffering more trouble in future. Now there is poetic techniques. Poet uses so many techniques to beautify his poem and in order to highlight the ideas. like metaphors, similes, symbolism, personification, etc. In this poem, poet has used some poetic devices, and we can identify the poetic devices being used in each of these atoms. Multiple choice questions have been given here, and we have to choose the better answer, best answer, correct answer against each. Question 1 is, the thread of my fancy is slit. 3 answers given: simile, metaphor, personification. Thread of my fancy is slit. It is a metaphor. The cool of the winter in the marrow of my breast. It is also a metaphor. The cold, helpless ashes kiss my feet. A poet has personified these ashes, because actually it is a humanus which kiss one another, not the cold ashes. So he has here personified these ashes. It is an example of personification. Now there is another. Like a moon-struck man, like and as when used in comparison, they denote similes. It is simile, like a moon-struck man. Found him lying by the wall like a mushroom on the moat. Moat, it is a simile, like a mushroom is a moat. Fragrant blossom was blooming on his lips. It is a metaphor. Now there is seventh part is, a drop of sweat dawned afresh pulling on his brow. It is also a metaphor. Thank you. Stay blessed.